The Chicago of Daniel Burnham's time was America's fastest growing city. A teeming mass of humanity engaged in the raw commerce of getting by. Our stockyards fed the world. Our railroads connected a nation. And our steel mills fueled its expansion. But when Burnham looked out on the city, he saw chaos leading to human misery, natural resources going to waste, and endless opportunities to do things better.
Burnham was about ambition. It was about unlimited ambition and vision.
It would take 100 years for Chicago to realize Burnham's dream of a lakefront that everyone would enjoy. It would include activities that he could never have imagined. But in every nook and corner of Chicago, there are places for repose, escape, and recreation. What we call the Burnham Plan was less a plan than a vision. 1,000 individual plans to make Chicago a more livable city. A process that requires bold ideas, new ways of using outdated resources, and ultimately, civic engagement.
Chicago respects the past, understands the present, but is always looking to the future. Chicago is always changing.
In Burnham's day, Chicago ended at the edge of Hyde Park. Today it extends to the border of Indiana, where the former U.S. Steel South Works occupies 600 acres of vacant land at the mouth of the Calumet River.
Right now, we're rebuilding the South Chicago area in hopes that the UXX site will be this future site that will be from pollution to solution.
U.S. Highway 41 will be extended from South Shore to a proposed new community of 30,000 people, with new schools, waterfront parks, and a marina for 1,500 boats. All on a piece of land almost twice as big as the Loop, and as close to downtown as Oak Park. Further to the north, Chicago prepares to host the 2016 Olympic Games.
The legacy of the Olympic and Paralympics is how well you make the infrastructure improvements for the city. That deals with public transportation, that deals with housing, that deals with parks and open space.
The Olympics promise to revitalize the South Side, from Bronzeville to Washington Park, with more access to the lakefront from all parts of the city, and more activities for people when they get there. In Monroe Harbor, architects Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill have reimagined the Burnham Plan in the 21st century.
The park itself is really twofold. There's one above grade, but really the beauty of it is that below the water level is a barrier reef where small fish can live. It's also about energy. And so on the arc of the park, there are about 210 vertical axis wind turbines. The aerial view of the city is very important. Looking down on this arc that embraces Grant Park is a fantastic idea.
Burnham's vision of a lakefront forever free and clear took decades to accomplish. And even today, 4 miles still remain inaccessible to most of the public.
The last 4 miles is an essential project for the city of Chicago to complete.
Where Lakeshore Drive ends at Hollywood Beach, Friends of the Parks wants to complete the plan as Burnham designed it, with bike paths, beaches, and scalloped harbors running all the way to the Evanston border.
Any city that thrives has a magnificent park system. Chicago is one of the prime examples of a park system that benefits the entire region.
What's good for the city is also good for the suburbs, as the residents of Aurora have discovered.
Yeah, Gilman Trail comes in just on the west side of the river. There's a stretch where there is no connectivity to the trail. Now we're beginning to fill that gap and create that connection so that a person can actually ride by bike all the way up to Wisconsin. Both our resources and our dreams are limited by how well we cooperate with each other.
On an abandoned West Side rail line called the Bloomingdale Trail, there's a unique opportunity to create what Burnham called a necklace of greenery through Chicago's neighborhoods.
Bloomingdale Trail is a 2 3/4 mile elevated, abandoned freight line that can be used by bike riders, pedestrians. Just by the very nature of a long, thin park, neighborhoods can be connected.
While joggers run below, high-speed rail lines might be carrying passengers overhead. To a West Side transportation center, Wilkinson and his partner, Richard Blender, have proposed at the intersection of the Kennedy, Dan Ryan, and Eisenhower expressways.
We looked at the sort of topography of the Circle interchange, and we pulled a plane up over the traffic. Then we built another layer on top of that. And in that, there would be a floor for markets, train stops, and then on top of that would be a carpet of landscape.
We have accomplished so much in the 100 years since Burnham first made his plan, but there is so much unfinished business left to do.
There is a Burnham plan going on every day. You have a new park, open space. A green roof is part of the Burnham plan. Developments come in, you see the type of architecture there. The redevelopment of the river. People are doing it every day.
We all like to dream, but this city isn't any one man's dream. It's all our dreams, coming together in projects that make sense to the community and inspire us to do that hard work that makes them happen. The projects highlighted in this film are only a few of the hundreds that seek to add vitality to the Chicago region. To share your own idea, we invite you to invent the future at go2040.org.